Vancouver Canucks fans are impatient. And the reason I say that is because after yesterday's trade shenanigan day in the National Hockey League, where we saw 4 legitimately big moves between Bowen Byram, Jordan Kyrou, William Eklund, and Simon Nemec, the biggest question Canucks fans seem to be asking after all of this went down is, Ryan Johnson, what the hell are you doing, buddy? You see the prices that these guys are going for. Why are you not making any trades? And this has been a really big sticking point on various parts of Canucks social media. The folks on Canucks Central were talking about this, responding to angry fan text messages. And you're getting perspectives from all over the place tossed into the mix in regards to Vancouver and whether or not Ryan Johnson is making a big mistake by not offloading guys at this moment, right now, while the iron is proving to be hot, while there's no time for things to cool down. Now, I'll say, I'm recording this audio the night of Tuesday, so if by the time this video is public on YouTube, there is another trade that went down, maybe Filip Hronek is a San Jose Shark, maybe he gets sent over for one of these top 10 picks that they've got going on. If that happens, then we'll make another video about it, but for now, let's dive into some discourse, shall we? We saw yesterday the Bowen Byram trade that shook up the entire National Hockey League. The fact that Bowen Byram, of all people, got sent over to Chicago for the 4th overall pick. That's a big trade, baby. And the 4th overall pick, we were all sitting here saying, hey, if Ivar Stenberg drops to 4, if Vancouver takes Malhotra, and if San Jose takes Reed, can Stenberg play with Bedard and they can be like Taves and Kane, except new? There's so much potential for Chicago at number 4, but then they just traded away the pick. They're like, Bowen Byram, yeah, he was 4th overall once upon a time. Let's get him. I'd say Bowen Byram versus an Ivar Stenberg or whomever. He doesn't live up to that, value-wise. But it's not just the Chicago Blackhawks that were in on Bowen Byram. Turns out, according to John Busigros on Twitter, the San Jose Sharks were also in on Byram. He wasn't going to come cheap. Danny says, I like Byram, but the 4th overall pick feels like they way overpaid. I would have liked the Edmonton or Florida pick in the package instead. If San Jose was in on Byram, they likely would have been offering number 9 as part of their package. And John Busigros replies, it would have been 9, 27, and a prospect. Now, take a look at the draft picks over here. Yeah, San Jose has 2. That's their own pick. They have 9. That was acquired from Florida via the Eklund and Brady Tkachuk trades. And then they also have 27, which... what was the trade that sent that pick over to San Jose in the first place? Does it say here on Tankathon? No, it does not. Oh, it was the Kesselring trade. My bad. Yeah, they traded down from 20th over to 27th to get that done. Right. But either way, I mean, you're thinking about it here. 9 and 27 is decently valuable, but 4 and 45, I get that 45 is so much further down, but 4 being so high up there, plus the addition of Louis Crevier in the deal, makes it more than worthwhile for Buffalo. All of a sudden you have tweets like this from X-Tech. If Bowen Byram fetches the 4th overall pick, what the hell is Filip Hronek worth? Now, there are some replies. Byram is worth more than Hronek, let's be real, Hronek is booty. Nothing because this team won't make a move, Alex says. That's also what I'm thinking about too. If Bowen Byram can go in a package for the 4th overall pick, then what's stopping the Vancouver Canucks for shopping Filip Hronek for a top 10 pick or something of that nature? It doesn't have to be 4. Doesn't even have to be 2. What if it's 9? What if the Vancouver Canucks trade away Filip Hronek for a top 10 pick because we've seen from the trades that have gone down that maybe that's not such a crazy trade price anymore? Taj went out there on Twitter saying the Sharks offered the 9th and 27th overall picks for Byram. There is a clear path for the Vancouver Canucks to get a second top 10 pick. This is why GMs make millions. Well, not Ryan Johnson, but most GMs. When opportunities like that just become available, you need to have the ability to strike. And seems like there are a number of people that are talking about the irony of it all. Oh, there's the Canucks who finished 32nd and they still feel the need to keep their most valuable veteran in Filip Hronek. Here's the thing about that. I understand Vancouver's philosophy that says, hey, they need to have veterans in a rebuild. They can't just have an entire roster of U-25 guys. They need to have somebody as a captain-like figure in the room. He doesn't even need to be the captain. He just needs to have that role. And Filip Hronek, by all accounts, it seems like he is the main dude that takes on that role and is proud to have it. Ever since the departures of Connor Garland, Tyler Myers, JT Miller, and everybody else, Filip Hronek is that dude. It's him and Marcus Petey probably, with honorable mentions going to Brock Besser and I guess Elias Pettersson if you really wanted to say that. But Filip Hronek is a pretty good defenseman. He had almost 50 points this previous year on the worst team in the league. He'll be a number one power play guy in Vancouver, so obviously there can be more production to be had there, assuming the Canucks are not absolutely the worst. But if you see guys like Bowen Byram going for the 4th overall pick, then what's stopping any GM from saying, hey, Byram went for 4, let's try to see if Hronek is available to get traded as well. I know a lot of people will be bringing up Filip Hronek and his no-move clause. The fact that this is supposedly a really big obstacle. Oh, the Canucks can't even trade Hronek if they wanted to. He wants to stay. But I feel like in the 2026 landscape of NHL media, reporting, trades, and player contracts going around, I just feel like if there is a will, there is a way. And even if Filip Hronek decides to pull off a Louis Eriksson, because back in the day, Louis nixed a trade to Edmonton, and he decided to stay in Vancouver, much to the dismay of the Canucks, I feel like that doesn't happen that much anymore. I feel like teams know that if they want a guy out, they can get him out. And guys, players, they feel that pressure from teams as well. Hey, these guys don't want me anymore. They asked me to waive. Do I really want to stick around here? Well, it is my right, but at the end of the day, they're just going to keep trying harder because they want to get me off the team. Do I really want to stay with an organization that is that desperate to get me off? Vancouver could be thinking that with Filip Hronek. Who knows? That's not to say that they've been rejecting trade offers and shutting down all conversations with other teams when Hronek's name comes up. But you can also say that because of the trade prices we are seeing get placed onto the market for guys like Simon Nemec and Kyrou and Bowen Byram, you can say that right now, sellers have the advantage. And if the Vancouver Canucks and Ryan Johnson are not taking advantage of that advantage, then what? Like, is that good business? Are the Vancouver Canucks sacrificing the ability to accrue legitimate long-term value by acquiring top 10 picks, if available, just for the sake of trying to keep together a happy room and a happy core and trying to build up the culture? I understand that Henrik and Daniel Sedin were saying, hey, you want to go fast? You want to rebuild this team? The fastest way to rebuild is to go slow, and we got to be patient, and it might take years, and that's fine. But I feel like for now, there is a big opportunity. You know, there were teams in on Bowen Byram. San Jose, they wanted to give up the 9th and the 27th overall picks for this guy. Would it be so difficult to ask Filip Hronek, hey, do you want to go to San Jose? You could play with Macklin Brady. You could be their number one power play guy over there. You'll play with Kiefer Sherwood. You can get a ton of assists, and you can give us the 9th overall pick if you accept that trade. It seems like an inevitability that conversations like that should happen, but I just don't know if it's in the cards at the moment. So you can let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Is Ryan Johnson fumbling the bag right now as GM of the Vancouver Canucks, assuming a Filip Hronek trade hasn't gone down before this video has gone public on YouTube? If it has, then hey, we'll make another video about it. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. How do you feel about Filip Hronek and the Vancouver Canucks sitting on his trade value, which could potentially be huge, and whether or not you think it would be the right move to send this guy out? Thoughts in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.